This was the heart of the ancient city of Antakya, and we're being led up a precarious path to the top of a mound to see what's left of a historic Greek Orthodox church.
This was the whole complex here?
Yes.
It was 3.5 months ago that much of this city was leveled.
This was basically the cultural center of the city. You had boutique hotels, little restaurants, and also a number of churches. And we know, of course, that the earthquakes happened in the middle of the night, and among all of the rubble on the floor, a clock that stopped just at 4:15.
Much of the city's old town looks like it hasn't been touched since then. Cars still sit under crumpled buildings. But it's just up the street where we find a business owner determined to carry on. Mehmet Serkan Sinkan sells antiques, and some of his wares now line this street.
The village from Mama, Grandmama, where?
He tells us about the first few moments after the earthquake and how he tried to save some of those trapped.
People cry, Serkan. Neighbor cries, Serkan. One living woman says, Serkan. We are 40 years neighbors there. I say, Mama, I go down to help. I start help. As you can see here is from outside building, here.
With his apartment damaged, he slept in his antique store until a third earthquake struck 2 weeks later.
And when the earthquake came, I was get down, I was there. I was do like this. It was coming and coming. It was coming and coming. I tell, we are going down this time. Because this one I was feel. It was so hard inside.
So you were on the ground like this and you were watching your building? Was
Yes,
it
and
shaking?
it was like this. This apartment was like this. It was coming boom. And here, boom.
That's when this hotel across the street collapsed. The 150-year-old building that houses his store was severely damaged.
It's not so safety. In the first earthquake,
which is why he's moved again and is staying in a nearby business.
here you see apartments. Apartments make us down.
Others are in much worse conditions. The truly desperate pick through the rubble for anything of value. With 3 million families displaced across Turkey, tens of thousands are living in tents. This grandmother is heating water so those in this camp can take their weekly shower. Where are my children? Where is my grandson? She cries. Her son, daughter-in-law, and their infant were killed in the quake. Multiple generations live in this camp together, and they say it's hard when the children keep asking when they can go back home.
Biz hangi asırda yaşıyoruz?
What century do we live in, this man says. Look at these people. I can't talk about this.
Böyle bir şey olamaz.
Antakya is in the province of Hatay, where more than 200,000 buildings either collapsed or were severely damaged. On some streets, demolition crews are at work. On others, apartments sit torn open, leaving us wondering just what happened to the families living here. This historic city has been destroyed by earthquakes before.
Hedefimiz inşallah.
And Turkey's president has vowed to rebuild once again, promising new homes within a year, but that's unlikely. Local officials tell us aftershocks make it too risky to start rebuilding now. Sükru Ersoy has spent years warning officials about how poorly prepared the area was, especially the airport, which was built right on top of a fault line.
But many people rejected my opinion. Maybe political decision, I don't know. But geologically and ecologically is a wrong area.
Now he's trying to warn about what could happen next, a catastrophic earthquake off the coast of Istanbul.
Bigger than 7.0.
How prepared is the city for that kind of earthquake?
Good question. We are preparing so much project, but second question is, it is enough? It is not enough.
The earthquake would be triggered in the Marmara Sea and would impact the 30 million people living along the coast, including the city of Istanbul, where nearly 70% of the buildings were built before the year 2000, when safety codes were strengthened. 3 years ago, the city launched a free inspection program to identify buildings at high risk. Uptake was slow, but that's now changed. Since the earthquake, there has been 150,000 requests for inspections. While the focus is on older buildings, new ones can also be vulnerable. Look no further than what happened in Antakya.
This is all that's left of 5 brand new residential towers that just opened in 2019. They were marketed as being well designed and built to the highest standard, but now nothing remains.
When the apartment complex opened, local officials held giant gold ceremonial scissors. Now there are calls for resignations and criminal charges. Back in the antique shop, Sinkan says everyone knew the earthquake risk was high. 6 months ago, he put this map of the fault lines on his wall.
I don't know, maybe for me a message. Serkan, wake up, it's coming something bad. Here, you can see here.
The warnings were all there, which is why he wants accountability.
I want from my government, they have to go back 50 years. Who have made not good things, they have to get in, or they have to pay some things, because they make it not good, the job, and people die. Children die. Everybody die.
So, Briar, you're back in London tonight, but when Antakya is rebuilt, I'm going to presume there will be changes to how it's built, right?
Well, that's right. Officials say they're working on a plan, so when it is rebuilt, it's better able to withstand these earthquakes. And the plan would include limiting the height of buildings in certain areas, and in Old Town adding more green space where the soil is too unstable to safely rebuild. I spoke with the mayor of Hatay, who said, look, this is a region where there's going to be more earthquakes. History has demonstrated that, but they want to rebuild the city in a way so that when the next one hits, thousands of people aren't killed.
All right, Briar Stewart in London tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome.